What up? Welcome to Homegrown Hustle, where local brilliance takes the center stage. I'm your host, Matt Eickman. Join us every week in celebrating innovation, guidance, and the power to inspire greatness. Let's explore the stories that shape our local business landscape, and together, let's ignite the spark of excellence.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Homegrown Hustle. I'm here with Michelle Fuller, the founder of Owl's Eye Art Collective in Lowertown, St. Paul. She's got a whole bunch of cool stuff going on over there. Great space and awesome story coming from digital creative and marketing and moving over into like hands-on. Anyway, let's get into it. Michelle, for the listeners that we have that don't know you and don't know Owl's Eye, could you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and kind of where Owl's Eye came from? Owl's Eye Art Collective.
Yeah.
That's kind of a mouthful.
So Owl's Eye Art I'm Michelle Fuller. Art has always been a way of expressing myself and connecting with others. I have learning disabilities and dyslexia, and I've always had a hard time connecting. But art is a way that people can understand me. So I made Owl's Eye Art Collective to connect with the community and also have accessibility.
And when did you found it, Michelle? Like, when did you open your doors?
September of 2024.
Okay. And how's it been going so far? So you're 2 years in, you're 1 year in and some change. Mm-hmm. And you've got a ton of stuff going on over there in a really busy community, right? So you've got art classes, you've doing some screen printing and stuff for some of the activities going on. Tell us a little bit about like why people come to your studio.
So you come to my studio first as like a local artist gallery. So you walk in, there's a gift shop. We have about 25 local artists. And then I always have some activities that you can walk in and do. You can carve stamps and screen print.
Just like if you're just walking downtown with your kid. Really?
Yeah, walk in and do that.
Put that on your list if you're going to a wild game.
Yeah. And then, so in the back room, we have a table that sits 16 people. So it's all about coming together and doing art projects together, but also just connecting. So every Monday we have free craft night. So you can come and bring your own art supplies or talk to me and I'll put together a little art project for you.
Is that something you like RSVP ahead of time, or do you just
come?
What time?
6 to 8:30 p.m. every Monday, and that's free for anyone. We have like markers and scissors and like kind of paint brushes and stuff like that. You just have to kind of bring your material that you want to paint on, but anyone can come. If we grow too big, then we'll just walk across the store and walk across the way and go to a different brewery or something.
That's one of the cool parts that I liked about your business when you were telling me about it is you'll go to the spaces where people are already congregating, right? That the third space that's not work, it's not their house, it's another place that they go that they feel a sense of community and engagement, right? So breweries are a big one. I've got a lot of involvement with Broken Clock Brewing and activities like that, or other like cribbage tournaments and stuff like that. Anything that's going to keep people engaged and like interacting. Otherwise, they're just like scrolling on their phones, right? So that's part of the awesomeness, is it kind of makes people stop, because I mean, if you're painting, you don't want to get paint on your phone, right?
Yeah. So I go to different breweries around too. We bring 4 different classes that people can pick from. You can carve stamps, screen print, Cyanotype, where it's kind of a photo emulsion that you brush on paper or a fabric, and
Sounds
then it
very scientific.
Exposes through the sun. So some people call them sun prints.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we do glass mosaic art pieces.
Is that where you're putting it in a kiln then and firing that, or no?
So in the
I took some art classes.
No, I know, it's awesome. So yeah, we have a couple of them coming up at Wanderleaf Brewery too, Mosaic classes, where everyone gets a glass cutter and you have glass and you cut a bunch of different little pieces and you make a custom art
safety
piece.
Goggles?
You do have goggles.
Yeah. Safety first.
And so everyone can wear goggles if they want to, and then I teach you how to basically paint the grout on and
So-
make the art piece. Yeah.
So art, you were talking about how it's a way for people to understand you, right? Did you grow up in a family of artists? Like, tell me, where did it come from?
Yeah, my family, we're all artists. Both my parents are in production. My dad does film and my mom does photography. Well, they're retired now, but they owned a production company while I grew
It
up.
is some pretty cool stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Feel free to embellish here.
So they used to hang out of helicopters and videotape for Ames construction. So the 62, 35W bridge and stuff.
So your
They
dad
got-
was a badass.
Yeah,
then.
so pretty badass, kind of cool production stuff. So when all three of their daughters wanted to get into art, they were
you're not hanging out at helicopters. You gotta get
no. So I have two other sisters. They're artists too. My older sister's a developer, UXer. My twin sister's a graphic
Is she
designer.
older or younger?
My twin sister?
Yeah, which one came out
3
first?
minutes older,
Okay.
or she is.
So you're the youngest.
I'm the youngest, yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, technically, I very much am the youngest. I will have to admit, they say that, and it is true. I'm, the rambunctious one.
Well,
But
so she leans into that extra 3 minutes pretty hard for
no, but she very much is the older twin sister. But yeah, so we all went to art school, and we're all artists.
So actually trained art locally, other schools. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my twin sister and I went to College of Visual Arts. We graduated in 2011. The school was closed in 2012 after 92 years of being a school.
Bummer.
Yeah, but it was really cool. Our main building was in one of the Summit Mansions on Summit Hill in St. Paul. So yeah, we got to go there and learn all different arts.
The architecture was art too.
Yeah.
During that type of construction. It's not like these cookie cutter houses they're thrown together in 2.5 weeks out by me.
Yep.
There's art in every part, especially those big cabinets inside that are built into the wall.
Yeah, they're
Every St.
beautiful.
Paul house has those.
They're really, really beautiful. I think one of my loves of St. Paul is one of the classes I took there of downtown St. Paul. We got to go in all of the buildings and look at all the architecture, and that it's just so
It's
beautiful.
old.
Yeah.
There's
And-
some underground stuff with all the hills and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, and the caves and the gangsters are
that's
pretty cool too.
There's a
So,
lot of history there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little art history tour downtown idea. Sorry, that's an
Yeah.
off-air idea.
So first Fridays is a thing in Lowertown. We're trying to get it going again, where a
fire
bunch
it up.
of galleries and restaurants around the area in Lowertown, St. Paul, open up their doors on the first Friday of
How
every
many
month.
are there? A
So-
lot of galleries down there.
Yeah, there's around 7
I guess because
galleries
there's
in that
there's
area.
the Ordway and it's kind of an artsy
Yeah.
fartsy area.
Well, there's what's cool about Lowertown. There's a
Offense.
bunch of art.
It's not supposed to be. Is that offensive? Is artsy fartsy?
We're,
Okay,
we're
'cause
fine.
my mom says that all the time.
Yeah.
So I might.
There is a lot of artist lofts there.
Yep.
In
the
Lowertown.
the old brewery over there on the one side is
Schmidt.
yep.
Yeah.
It's the art.
And then,
Good job, St. Paul, Minnesota. We're really shout out to
Yeah.
art.
so in downtown, in my little area, there's at least 5 artist lofts there. So it's a huge community of
All right.
artists. Yeah.
So there's people somebody's making money off artists here, right? Is it the artists though, or is it the people renting them these freaking lofts and stuff? That's what I'm getting at. How do we get artists to be able to get more money for all the effort they put in for their the love of what they're doing?
I think it really just comes down to marketing and letting people know that we're out there and
Is that the gap?
that there is local artists that are worth going to instead of the Targets or the
Or Etsy, right?
Yeah.
Etsy, you can go and get similar
They
stuff.
have
right?
some local artists.
But how do you find the local artist on Etsy unless you know them and you search for their Etsy, right?
Yeah. You
So
can just
if there
Google
was a-
painting or something.
If there was a geo component to Etsy, I hope you're listening, that would help for us to support local, right? Because going and finding each of those, the cool galleries or the art stores or even the jewelry places, it takes time to go and physically visit those. And in the age of Amazon, where people are 2.5 clicks away in 12 hours from something literally being on their doorstep, like when it's that fast, like it's hard to do the art part, right? Like it takes away from like that magical component that is the creative process.
Yeah.
And your business kind of creates a space for people to engage in that, which I think is beautiful. Do you do it with kids too?
So right now I don't, but I'm working with the Arts Creative in Bloomington with Katie. She owns that. She does a lot of kids classes.
Shout out Katie.
Yeah, and we work hand in hand together.
What's it called? The Arts Creative?
The Arts Creative in Bloomington. Yeah, and she is the one that also just started the Bloomington Art Fair. The Street Arts Festival is what it's called. This will be the 3rd year.
So is that similar to like the Northeast Art World type of vibe?
Yeah.
Art World is wild.
Yeah. And then in Lowertown, we have the art crawl. So we have twice a year, we have the art crawl in downtown St. Paul and around St. Paul. And it's hosted by the St. Paul Art Collective, which I work hand in hand with.
So like all of these things, like it goes back to like that community of bringing people together. And then when it does that, it allows for it to be a massive asset for the community, because you bring that many people to an area. How much alcohol is being purchased, how much food's being purchased, how many of those local business owners are being able to put food on their own tables because of the collaboration, right? Those events don't happen without collaboration and teamwork, and that's hard, right? Because everyone's got their own thing going on, and this thing helps everybody's individual effort. But who's the one who's like, all right, I'm going to start the Bloomington, what do you call it?
Bloomington Street Arts Festival. It's
Katie, that is, shout out to you for just doing that. I don't know.
She just,
like,
she started doing it. So she had the
where do you
Arts
even
Creative.
start that?
Yeah, and I don't know. I helped with some signs last
We're going to have to
year,
get you on
but-
here, Katie. We're going to have to talk about this.
She is really, really cool. And she does so many neat things. But yeah, she just stepped up. And then last year, she did all the work to get a grant for last year. And then this year will be the 3rd year. And it was pretty amazing. It was one of my best experiences last year.
Tell me about it.
So they hosted it. I say we because I just work with Katie a lot, at the 9 Mile Brewery Oktoberfest event. And so we had Oktoberfest plus like 30 artists tents, and with everyone celebrating and just having fun and going around. It was pretty amazing. A bunch of people buying art.
Well, so if you had to like give a definition for art, what is it? It's a good question. I didn't even think of that one ahead of time. I just came up with that.
So art is everything to me. It's like the visual aspect, but also the experience. Like crafting an experience also is art. But everything was designed. Everything was created. And so I do think a lot of things are art.
I agree.
Like everything.
And then there's people that don't even, like, they think art is like a weird painting somebody puts on the wall.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell what it even is.
Yeah.
And sometimes people pay a lot of money for that, and that's where I'm just perplexed.
Yeah, with people buying art.
Well, because like, so if we're talking experience, right? So the movies I've watched where there's galleries in New York, there's like all these fancy people and stuff, and you go in and there's like a bunch of random weird stuff on the walls, and then people spend a bunch of money to get those items, right? And so what's that artist doing, or what's that curated activity doing to actually like drive revenue that isn't being replicated by other artists out there? Is it just like the actual curation of the event itself? Because from where I'm sitting, it doesn't seem like the art is that's not the hinging point here, right? It's
all about the
experience.
Experience and history, and yeah.
Well, experience becomes history for people when they have a good experience, right? So when you curate a good experience like you do at Owl's Eye, that makes people want to tell other people about it / come back and do it again. So for creating community and collaboration, it's really just getting it in front of people, right? And then it kind of sells itself. So for the, like, if you had to speak to somebody who is just an artist right now and maybe they want to go and open their own version of Owl's Eye and have a space where they can also create community, like what are some steps that you would tell them to take, or maybe a couple questions that they should ask themselves before they get started to learn from your experience? That's a deep question there.
Yeah, like a couple of questions about So maybe I'll back it up a little bit. I think anyone can do art. Like, I do think that some people look at art and don't understand it. But for me, you're not going to jump on a piano and be like Mozart. So all of it is a learning experience and everyone can do it. I think a lot of people are afraid to just do art. And that's what's cool about my classes.
Am a little bit.
Is like, I want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable with what they're doing, but the outcome is still a really great product. So
because the outcome is really the experience. It's not even the thing that they're doing, right? There's like double art going on there.
What do you mean?
Like you bring somebody in to do a mosaic. They'll get to walk away with that mosaic, but if they drop that on the way to the parking lot, they still have that experience that you created, right? And so that's the art behind the actual activity of the art.
Yeah. And I think everyone learns and just keeps going too. I like how at the end of classes, people are like, oh, I can do this. And it's like, yeah, you can do this. So, and they're like, oh, I want to like go get the supplies and like continue to do this and like grow from that. And that's what's cool about art is it's never ending.
Well, and then do you like help facilitate some of that too? You were talking about before we hopped on, like art kits and stuff like that that you have.
Yeah. So something that I'm working on right now is making art kits. I have a couple of them that you can come in and buy. That's carving, stamps, and stamping on like tote bags, and the Mosaic one. Hopefully soon we'll have more of like a subscription where you can do different art
that would be great,
every month.
Man. My kids would love something like that.
Yeah.
And I would love it too, because then we don't have all the extra, like the leftover art stuff that just like builds up. I've got a whole closet of stuff.
Yeah. And that's what's cool about the craft nights at my place and just like coming and hanging out too, is a bunch of people will bring their art supplies and then everyone will talk about them.
By art supplies, do you mean alcohol?
I mean, there is booze. You can so you can bring. My studio is like a full kitchen. There's a fridge and stuff. Okay. Some people make like frozen pizzas. Some people make cookies. You can BYOB snacks and booze to my place. So even the private events are really cool. So you don't have to go and pay for a bar tab or anything like that. You can bring your own stuff and have an art party at my place.
Stop at Costco on the way over.
Yeah, totally. Grab one of those.
Bring the
cheese
food and
boards.
Stuff. You're not going to supply that. All the art stuff. You got that dialed in.
Yeah. And if you don't know any place around too, I love working with local places. So there's a bunch of restaurants that do catering around Lowertown too. So you can obviously, I'll connect you with some awesome people if you don't want to go to Costco.
True.
And cater your...
True. The corporate account is great for our team.
When you go to Costco, it's like $0 anyway. So like it's like free to shop there is what...
They still charge you.
I'm just joking.
But like that experience versus going downtown around all those other local vendors and everything you've got, like whether you're bringing your own food or you're working with like the local community and you're just like, hey, let's go do some art tonight. The space is there, and that's half the battle. The other half is you showing up and like having the tools to and maybe a little bit of direction, which you help with all that, right? Because like for me, I see art every day. That's all my kids do at school, I feel like, is art, and they bring it home. And then what do you do with it? But when it's not like I'm going to color, rather I'm going to make a mosaic, or like you kind of have to go outside of like what you're doing every single day. And I don't know, those type of new experiences I think are really impactful for children, as I can see it, but also for adults. Like we don't get a lot of opportunities to like go do new stuff, and guys are boring. they don't like to do that stuff very often. So I would say challenge you guys, go do some art.
So it's a huge thing. There's a bunch of kids classes and stuff like that. But honestly, I've noticed in my 30s that I'm almost 40 though. So
age is just a number,
yeah.
right?
But basically, there isn't a lot of things for us to do except go to the bar.
Lame. I mean, bars
do
are great.
love it.
I do like bars. Breweries are great too.
I love it. But there isn't anything else. So like my place heavily does support more like older teens and adult art projects.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
So when you can come in and do art, like for the art parties, or if I do any of the classes, I focus on more kind of intermediate art classes like the Mosaic and the printmaking.
The things guys like me can do. Where
Yeah.
it's not like when I get frustrated and give up halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm kind of a perfectionist with stuff. It doesn't come across that way. But like with art, that's where I would get hung up is like teacher would show this cool thing and I'd be like, mine's going to look like that. And it did not turn out that way ever.
I always have to do sheets, or like not to do sheets, but like instruction sheets too.
So
So
like
then you can
IKEA
always
for
follow
art.
instructions. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because if you're
stuck-
like, here's
but
the end
I'm there
goal, you gotta
too.
be like that. And it's like,
Yeah.
what if mine sucks though? Now I'm disappointed. I don't want to do art anymore.
No.
But I mean, for me, what I've realized, and I'd like to get your thoughts on it, is that like with business, like business is kind of like my art, right? That's where I get to go and create. And that's where a lot of business owners get their outlet for creativity and new things. So do you see art in the business that you're running, or does that just feel like work? Because I see a lot of art, and I'm kind of asking a question that I think I know the answer to, and I hope it's not the work one. But what I'm getting from you is a lot of passion behind what you're doing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. So this is fully funded right now from me, just doing
You're bankrolling the whole thing
pretty much.
just out of the goodness of your heart.
Yeah. But in the long run, I want more of a collective, more of people coming
you bring
together.
people together, and
Yeah.
then stuff can happen,
Yeah.
right? But
Just
if people
because
don't
there's
come
like
together.
one person in the collective
Mm-hmm.
right now doesn't mean there can't be 10.
Well, you said you had 25 businesses that people could,
25 local artists.
like that's
Yeah.
at least 25 people. Do you have people that like join the collective, or how does that
Yeah, so I
work?
just put out memberships last week.
Oh, cool.
So you can be a member and come anytime. We're open.
And do the cool stuff. Like,
Yeah. And print and do different things.
that's awesome.
And then if you're a member, you can also teach classes there too.
Okay.
So we have a couple of other artists that will come in and do classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So tell me, I'm getting how art is an asset to you in your life, but tell me like specifically for Minneapolis and St. Paul, like if you had to imagine like what it was like and we didn't have the art community that we have, like what would that be like?
It would be like how I think a neurotypical brain is.
Like,
Just boring.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a bummer. There'd be no paintings. Like, what do they call those when they do a big mural, right?
Yeah.
Like those murals that they have downtown. Like those are awesome, and it like connects
Yeah.
the community, and it's not just
I think our community
Squares.
is very, very strong because of the arts here. Like in the last couple of weeks with all of like basically Minnesota and now nationwide Ice Out movement, I think that hearing what like Prince was talking about, how like the cold keeps the bad people away, but also like all of us with our music and art community here is so strong. It brings everyone together.
does the music, the activity of the art. I mean, music is one of the
Yeah.
bigger ones, right?
Yeah.
We got First Ave, all the different local community or the local music venues that like we've got really good music that comes through, and they're not always hitting XL Energy and US Bank, right? Like those smaller ones, like that's the good music anyway. Like those other, you go to a concert at XL, no offense XL, but like I'd rather go to
First Ave. Yeah. Well, I mean, Bruce Springsteen just came and just like stopped by and played at First Ave.
yeah, like I'm gonna
That was
pop
crazy.
in here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like that type of
But-
stuff. doesn't happen without like a long history of a community that's engaged with that, right? And whether it's music or art or whatever, like Minneapolis, St. Paul, like it's very much intertwined there. And the businesses, like they get to reap the reward from it, just like the community reaps the reward from them having their Fortune 500 companies here and all the infrastructure and everything required for that. Like if you flip it on its end and you look at it through a different lens, like the art is feeding a lot of the community from a different direction as well. So there could be some more alignment between like people just doing art and the awesomeness there and these massive organizations that have resources out the wazoo. Like we could do a lot of really cool stuff for the community here, but nobody does that unless you start somewhere, right? So kudos to you for doing that, because I can't tell you how many times I've heard that artists don't make any money, right? But I mean, some of them do. So you can prove that right or prove it wrong. But at the end of the day, if it's not about the money and it's about the community, how much more powerful is that if it does end up making money?
Yep.
Right? Anyway, I like art and I like business. And you got any questions for me? No, I hammered you with a bunch of them today. Where do you see Owl's Eye Collective going in the next 2-3 years? How do you see it, the future for that community that you're building?
Hopefully more people will join and we'll get more of a community effort going and bigger space, and be able to teach a lot of different type of art projects.
How do they join? If somebody wanted to join after they listen to this awesome podcast or watch the YouTube, how do they click to sign up, so to speak?
You can go to owlseyart.com and there's some information about memberships there, or email me directly at michelle@owlseyart.com.
And then first, do you guys have social media pages as well?
Yeah, so we have Instagram and Facebook, Owl's Eye Art Collective.
Gotcha. You guys seeing a theme here at all? Just search Owl's Eye Art and it'll come up. And with a background in web design, really good website, I will say.
Thank you.
So that's my 2 cents. Take that for what it is. One question that we ask everybody that comes on the Homegrown Hustle: what does hustle mean to you in terms of business?
Hustle for me means life.
Oh, man.
Like, I've been hustling ever since I was little. Sometimes you want to give up, but you know that you're strong enough to hustle and just keep going.
I love that. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for joining us here in the studio. We're going to go check out your studio and have a couple clips for you guys coming up also. Thanks for all the likes, subscriptions. Keep sending us the comments and questions. If you found this valuable, or you know somebody that would be interested in Owl's Eye Art Collective and some of the classes or parties that they've got, go check out their website or their social media and share this episode with somebody that you think might get some value from it. But till next time, guys, keep hustling.
Hey, thanks for tuning into the Homegrown Hustle. It's been an honor to share the stories of local legends who make our community thrive. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Please stay tuned for more insight and inspiration. We got a lot of heat in the chamber. This is Matthew Eickman saying peace out until next time. Get hustling.